Okay, so I have no idea when the BFDIA finale is going to come out, but it's going to come out sometime today. So before that, since there's always a lot of debate on this, I'm going to make a poll or a tier list. Why did I say poll? Of every BFDIA contestant. So just ignore these bunch based on how good of a winner I think they'd be. Um, Ignore all the ads. I can't do anything about it. Donut. Um, I don't know. Donut is good in every other season except BFDIA. BFDIA, he gets out first because he's mean. I don't know. I feel like Donut getting out first kind of was meh. Not sure how I feel about that, but I mean, the other options were clearly probably should have stayed longer. For BFDIA alone, I'd say he can go in D tier. I don't know. Maybe they could have done something cool with him. I guess you could argue that with any character. I think if any character made it to the final six, the writers would have found something to do with them. Teardrop. Be nice. To be honest, I don't know. Teardrop is fine, I guess. You can't really do much with the silent type character just because of how limited they are. Then again, there's like Saturn from Sauce, and she's always been more on the expressive side, but like Saturn's cool. So I don't know, maybe they could do something with Teardrop. I don't know. Dora. Oh, I really like Dora. Dora's one of my favorite characters. Definitely better than David. But she's not a good winner. She doesn't have much character traits other than like da 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 and being a challenge beast. I think she should have made it far further than I prefer, but like I think B tier is fine. Match is another character I really like. Again, I think that's another B tier. Match went so soon. Match is like I don't know. I have like a revolving favorite characters list. Match. If someone asked me what my favorite character is, I'd probably say Match. Yeah, not much to. Match was cool when she was in the. Excuse me. I think Match should have made it further, but probably shouldn't have won. That's my take. Puffball. Yeah, I don't know. Puffball's just Puffball. I don't know. I feel like if they didn't write her out, there was a chance she could have made. Wait, that's an interesting hypothetical scenario. What if they didn't write Puffball out? Would you consider continue to win prizes constantly? I find it weird how they said something like, Puffball, every time you've been up for voting, you've won the prize, and she was up for voting, what, twice? So, like, yeah, definitely a pattern of 2 times. I don't know. Ain't Coiny win the prize twice? Wait, no, Teardrop won the prize. Yeah, never mind. That is an interesting hypothetical scenario. I want to see someone do that. No one who makes like Mock, if you're watching this, make BFDIA, but the writers didn't write out Puffball. See how far she would make it. Rocky, no. I don't think I have to argue this. Actually, there's someone out there who apparently is insistent on the fact that Rocky being in the final 3 would be funny and also preferable to the tennis ball book and needle final 3. So maybe I do have to explain why Rocky is a bad finalist. First of all, Rocky already made it way further than he needed to in BFDI. He got 6th. I will not understand the praise for BFDI Season 1, to be specific. The elimination order is not good. It's not better. BFDIA is I don't like Season 1, I'm gonna be honest. It's boring. Rocky made it way further than he needed to in season 1. Rocky got voted out back to back in a wait, that's irrelevant. But anyways, Rocky got voted out back to back in both BFDIA 7 and Teapot 8. They really wanted Rocky out. I think the reason I know the reason Rocky wouldn't be a good finalist is because he's a freaking gimmick character. He barfs and sometimes calls you stupid for not knowing how to read the sign that one time. Yeah, he makes a joke one time and suddenly he's like a comedic genius. And also, I'm gonna make this point a couple other times. Comedy alone is not a good enough reason to be a finalist, let alone a winner. That applies to a lot of characters on here, so keep that in mind. Fiery literally already won a season. It'd be kind of funny. Okay, other hypothetical scenario. What if BFDIA was... Okay, how do I word this? What if BFDI as a whole took itself more seriously? Like, the world building was a lot more grounded. I don't know, what if instead of being more like Total Drama, BFDI was more like Disventure Camp, but less, I don't know. Disventure Camp if the Yowie wasn't forced and the winner of season 3 wasn't a murderer. And also, the season 5 eliminated character first eliminated isn't my goat. Why did you have to go so soon, Aubrey? Why? Why? Anyways, I think it'd be really funny if there were certain characters in BFDI where if you took the show more seriously, they would actually perform, certain people would perform better or worse just because they're more skilled, more likable, more, I don't know, strategic. Like, okay, you could really, it is, I don't know, that's such an interesting hypothetical though. What if BFDI was realistic? Like, they actually took the show, more seriously when it came to, like, writing. And, like, also it has to be a contestant vote, because otherwise it probably would not have the same effect. You'd have to make a lot of changes, but I think that'd be an interesting what-if scenario. Yellowface! I don't think I have to argue this one. Gelatin! Do you think if Gelatin didn't get second in BFB, he would have made it further in BFDIA? Just a thought experiment, but I don't care for Gelatin. I know someone I know, Ferret Master, plays Lemon Lime in Waters. I almost forgot the name of it. He really likes pre-hiatus Gelatin. Oh my gosh, I just said pre-hiatus. I'm actually gonna do it. Okay. It's tangent time. I do not like when people refer to the two halves of BFDIA as BFDIA pre-hiatus and post-hiatus. It really annoys me because it implies that BFDIA was on a hiatus, which is not. It was not. It was stated to be canceled. That is very different. Hiatus implies that you were planning to bring it back the entire time. BFDIA was not being planned to bring back. They were just going to be done with it until they randomly decided to bring it back, I don't know, sometime before BFDIA 6, but it wasn't like, I don't know, when they were making post-split, isn't there a line in episode 29? I read this song. I read it on the wiki. There was apparently a line in episode 29 where the announcer says that the second season, BFDIA, was canceled. They knew that it was never planned to be brought back. That's not a hiatus. That's a cancellation. And now people say, oh yeah, BFDIA was on hiatus for 10 years. That's not how it works! Come on! I prefer the terms BFDIA original and BFDIA revival. Well, that's the last thing I'll say on the matter. BFDIA original Gelatin, Ferret Master ranks as his favorite character, And everything beyond that, he says, is like B tier. So that's interesting. Spongy, ooh, I don't know. He's not good. He's not bad. He's kind of just like, I feel like you could do a lot more with him. He could be a good like comic relief character. If you like with the BFDIA 23, rather than him being kind of full of himself, uh, they probably get voted out, but BFDIA 23 Spongy was peak Spongy. I thought he was really entertaining, but I think you could do something with Spongy. I don't think that means he should win, so maybe I could put him up to B tier. I don't know. I see more. I don't know. If I order these, I see more potential in Match than I do Spongy. But, Ice Cube! I'm still upset about Ice Cube's elimination in Teapot 16. Like, she was just about to start the stuff with One and Fanny, and then gets eliminated. And for the record, I did vote Ice Cube that elimination, specifically for that reason. Wasn't it, like, not even close? It was like a 4,000 vote gap, which I guess relative to stuff nowadays is pretty close. I guess Bottle got out by like a 9,000 vote difference. Yeah. BFDIA, yeah, I don't see her getting that far in BFDIA. She's fine. It's just like everyone else in her alliance has more potential. So Ruby. Again, Ruby is a comic relief character that, unless you develop beyond that, that immediately disqualifies you from winning, in my opinion. Was this made of, as of, I'm wondering when this was made. Was this made as of BFDIA 12? Because this goes along the elimination order, then it stops. Because, who gets out in Golf Ball? But anyways, it doesn't matter. Ruby is a great, like, character. She's goofy. I really like her. I'd say in terms of comic relief characters, she is not the best. I don't know why I was about to say that. But no. I just think she's really entertaining, but I don't see her as a good winner. Unless they could do more with her, which is entirely possible. Then again, I don't know. I'm putting her in C tier. Golf Ball! Ooh! I'm going to be honest. I would rather Golf Ball get eliminated early in Teapot and make it far in BFDIA than what actually happened. I think Golf Ball would have been a really good winner. I do not prefer her to my ideal winner candidate, but I think she should have at least made alumni. I don't know. I know someone is going to disagree with me, VVG, but I like Golf Ball. I think I do kind of feel bad for Golf Ball, because Golf Ball, especially in Teapot, I hated that stupid Donut Golf Ball arc, where Golf Ball was in the right the entire time, but apparently she's mean, and that's why Donut should be the leader or whatever. I forget. It was stupid. And also, and then they make Teapot 14, and that proves that you should not trust Cloudier to democracy is a mistake, specifically in Cloudier's sentence. No more collective ownership of the means of production. Just have one person make all the shots, because Golf Ball is probably the only person I trust to do that. Maybe Donut. That literally no one else on that team. Pillow? No. Yellowface? No. Winner? as long as he's not doing whatever Yellowface says, then maybe. But considering he and Yellowface are like best buds in this season, then no. Barf bag. Who? Pencil. Maybe after Teapot 15. Maybe before Teapot 15. Maybe. But afterwards, no. Even though that arc was over by then, and Golfo realized that Donut was in the right when he wasn't. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. That arc really annoys me. Worst arc in the entire series. I'm calling it right now. That is like the one issue with Teapot 13. It's a really good episode otherwise. I hate dissing Teapot 13. It's like the best episode of the season since like Teapot 2. So, Tennis Ball. I can see Tennis Ball being a good winner. I don't know. I feel like weird because I feel like I can only have one of these two in S tier. But like, I think they both have their merits. Like, both are really intelligent, but like, Golf Ball has like a more abrasive, like, is that the right word? Abrasive? I'm not looking it up. Actually I will, because I hate being stupid. Abrasive definition. Showing little concern for the feeling. Yeah, that's about. Golf Ball's more abrasive, and Tennis Ball is more kind of like the nice guy. They're like the good cop, bad cop duo. And they are totally in love with each other. I know I'm not a big fan of Hetzlop, but these two are. I don't want to say they're straight, but I saw a video. It was like it was a Wisp voiceovers video. It was they were reading a Tumblr post where someone was like making fun of writers who are like, these characters are definitely in love with each other, but the writer insists that they're just friends. And someone in the comments were like, oh yeah, this is totally Tennis Ball and Golf Ball. Wisp Voiceovers is not an OSC channel, by the way. But I don't know. Between the two, I think Golf Ball would be a more entertaining winner. But that's assuming she doesn't make it far in Teapot. So, yeah. Fries! Oh no, this is gonna annoy a lot of people. Fries is B tier. Fries is the funniest character in the season. Maybe even in the entire show. Again, comedy alone is not good enough for you to be considered a good winner, in my opinion. That was really contrived. That was a long run on set. I'm sorry. But Fries is good. His fan base actually makes you want to die, but he's good. I like him. He's one of the best characters in the season. I was on the Fries train back in, like, BFDIA 16, I don't know. Mostly because everyone else was rooting for Fries, and I didn't care for the season, so I just went with the crowd. And then I watched BFDIA 18, and then someone else, who we haven't gotten to yet, became my winner pick. If you know, you know. But Fries, I made an entire video why I believe Fries should have gone out when he did, or she did, if you prefer that. We are she, her, Fries truthers in this house. I don't know. There's sometimes where I really want to commit to the bit and continuously call Fries refer to Fries using feminine pronouns, just because I know it's really funny. But also, sometimes I want people to take me seriously, and I know that's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're one of these people. You're one of these woke scoundrels. You are Blizzard from Toady 2 Easter. You are the zombie vampire werewolf questioning. I'm sorry, that was mean. Toady is good. Just don't let the Easter episode give you a sour taste in your mouth. Toady is good. And Fries has a bit of more to him than just the comedy. He is really good at challenges. But I feel like they need, in order for a character to win, to be deserving of a win, in my opinion, the writers have to take them more seriously. I think my voice cracked just there. I'm like 18. How is this happening? But and they never really took Fry seriously. Even in BFDIA 18, where everyone was getting an arc, Fry's was the only one not to. Because I feel like even if he did get an arc, he would probably lose a lot of fans because people like him for being the nonchalant guy that he is. I don't have much else to say to Fries other than I really like him, but I don't view him as a good winner. Coiny! Coiny is the complete opposite of Fries. I don't hate Coiny. I just don't care for him, honestly. I never really. He was always my least favorite of the final six. I specify final six for final seven because there's a certain someone who we'll get to later. But I never cared for Coiny. I think I voted him out every time he was up for elimination since Nickel got out, and even probably before then, because you could vote multiple people. Coiny. Although I'm not a huge fan of Coiny, I can see why people were upset that he got out because he probably would have been a good winner. I think Coiny is one of the few characters that okay, it'd be nice if he actually was taken more seriously, but I can see why people get main character energy coming out of him. He is I don't know. There's not really anything I could compare Coiny to. Coiny is just his own breed of character, and I think he is probably the most unique character in the cast. I don't know. Coiny is Coiny is basically just the main character of BFDIA. I'm 90% sure. People always say that the writers are trying to make you feel bad for Book in order to get you to vote for her to win, sort of the post-split flower syndrome. I am almost confident that the writers actually wanted Coin to win just based on how many jokes they made in BFDIA 23 on wow, this elimination order sucks. I think there could have been better options, but I still think with the options they did have, they made the final three work. Okay? The big thing is, people always complain about the final three. You can make any final three good as long as you're a good writer. And thankfully, Joseph Bach is a good writer. But I feel like people just assume the BFD. I need to stop. Okay, this is a mistake I always make. I always treat the people who are the Fries cultists who are oh my gosh, this final three is the worst in the entire object show community, in every game show ever. I need to stop taking them seriously because they don't have real reasons to not like the final three. Okay, Coiny, I guess I can understand why they'd be up. I can see why they would prefer other options, but the worst final three ever is just that is cope. I'm sorry, that is cope. I can name three worse final threes. The BFDI final three, the BFB final three, the BFDIE final three, and the Teapot final three, because I doubt it would be better than what we got in BFDIA, because Teapot, BFDIA, unlike Teapot, actually cares about developing the characters. Remember when BFDIA was supposed to be the goofy season? Bad times. The final three are good characters. Sure, you may think there are better options, and maybe there are, but they're still, objectively well-written characters. And I think if someone if Bommy, or Spongy, or Match, or Rocky, okay, maybe not Rocky, or Puffball made it to the final three, they could write them as well as Book, as Needle, as Tennis Ball, as Fiery, as Coiny, as Pin. They could write them. But you wouldn't like that, because they're not your favorites. They can't improve, in your opinion. Whatever. Anyways, Coiny's a really good character. I don't care for him, but objectively, putting my biases aside, he is well written. And probably the MVP of the season. He's not my ideal winner, but that's just because I don't particularly care for him. But I can see why people like him so much. Penn! Ooh, Penn is finalist material, not winner material. I have a crazy idea. Okay. What if this was, okay, let's say, this would have to change, a bit of the elimination order, but let's say Book and Penn compete in the Glass Road Challenge. Like the final challenge. Rather than going for the win, Book, like, I think this would maybe even be more like a feel-good moment than Book winning in BFDIA 23. What if, after everything Penn has done to Book, Book deliberately sabotages Penn and herself, puts them both up for elimination, because obviously Penn would get out there. I think that would be cool. And I would actually take Book a lot more, like, okay, we'll talk about it more in Book section, but Book is not a good at the competition, but I think she makes up for it by her, like, prioritization of others above herself, and the fact that she's, like, the nicest person in the show, in the season, not the show, I think maybe even in the show, until, there's gotta be something, though. I want to see what happens to make it so we go from BFDIA Book to BFB Book. I want to see the character development, or derailment, I don't know, whatever you prefer. I want to see the arc where Book just stops trusting people. Not really, but enough about Book. Penn. Penn is a great villain. I don't know if villains are usually someone you want to win. I think villains are great to root against. I don't know. I like a good villain. And Penn is a great villain. Dare I say, the best best in the series. She is better than Money. Contrary to popular opinion, I actually really like Money as a villain. She easily made BFDIE 9 the best episode of that season, single-handedly. I think she was robbed, but actually no, she should have gotten out when she did, but her elimination was very undeserving. Like, okay, it felt, I don't know, I'm not talking about Money. I'm upset about Money's elimination, but I believe she deserved to get out when she did. I'm upset about Money's elimination, but not because she got out. That's the best way I can explain it. Penn, good villain. I can see her. I think it would be really interesting if the Penn and Book thing I suggested happened. But, yeah. Bommy! No. I don't know. I don't think... Bommy! Really? No! No! Anyways, Needle. Okay, I can't beat around the bush. Needle is my favorite character this season. Easily. I think I've always, okay, not always. Obviously, I had the fries phase, but ever since BFDIA 18, I've always wanted Needle to win, and I liked Needle before then. But like, I don't know. I kind of just forgot how much I liked Needle, and then BFDIA reminded me that I liked Needle. Oh wow, Needle is actually peak. Can we talk about the stupid arguments against why she should win? I cannot count the number of times on my hands I see people mocking Needle for saying, I want to win for myself. And then going like, well, everyone wants to win for themselves. You're not special. Okay, but the thing is, Needle's never really got the chance to do that. BFDIA, she never really made any friends, and, well, obviously, I mean, you could win for yourself in that scenario if she didn't get out in episode 7. I honestly forget when Needle got out, but she got out really early. BFDIA, she was always under someone else. On Team No Name, she was obviously under Golf Ball. On Wobun, she was under Pin. On Free Smart, she was under Pencil. She was always under someone else. And in BFDIA 18, she finally reaches Merge, and she realizes that she doesn't have to be second in command anymore. And while that's an interesting arc, or like interesting development, and she becomes a lot more competitive than she already was, it ends up turning from I want to win for myself to like complete isolation. And then there's like the tennis ball stuff. And like I think it's an interesting arc where it's like, okay, originally Needle was under other people. Now Tennis Ball is under Needle. So instead of Needle winning for other people or Needle winning for herself, Tennis Ball wins for Needle. Or in sort of that way. And then BFDIA 23, that's the Needle and Pencil conversation, which I will argue, best scene in the entire show. I don't think there's any competition. Maybe the climax in BFDIA 18, but that was kind of like sort of the end of the arc where it's like, okay, Needle, I get that you want to win, but you're completely isolating yourself from everyone. And it's not really a bad thing to have friends. And not to mention, not everyone is trying to win for themselves. Coiny is trying to win for the bunch. Pin probably wants to win for Coiny. I don't know. Book doesn't even care about winning. If she did, she'd actually try more. Actually, she does care about winning, but obviously she doesn't. She takes the moral high road, and that kind of makes it so she loses every challenge. I can name plenty of people who, if they win, are probably doing it in dedication to other people. So it's not just like an everyone thing. But anyways, Needle is peak. She should win the season, and she will. Mark my words. I have BFDIA 25 hasn't come out yet, or maybe it has and I just haven't seen it. She will win. Mark my words. I have faith. Editing Ren, let me know if Needle wins. But yeah, Needle is peak. She's competitive. She's entertaining. That's all I want in a finalist. So, Pencil. Pencil is like, I don't know. Pencil is good. I don't know. She's like, I feel like if she made Final 6, they could probably do a lot with her. But yeah, I think, again, I mean, that goes for a lot of characters. I think you could have made Pencil a good winner if she made it further. For now, I'm gonna put her in A tier. Book. Ooh. Book is, first of all, can we all get the myth out of the way that Book is just like post-split Flower 2.0? She is not post-split Flower 2.0. That, in fact, is Fern. I am kidding. Fern is a good character, but she did not deserve to win. And I feel like there was a reason why, I don't know, it bothers me that Fern made it to the final 3 in a contested vote season, and then the final finale was decided by a viewer vote. I know, I forget who it was. It was LY Cubing, I believe. I forget their name. It's something like that. They made a post about how it was kind of a waste of the contestant voting format to have someone who would win in a viewer vote just win in the contestant vote. Like, I think the idea is you would have someone else win. Why couldn't it be Sticker? I don't know. Sticker, I think, was the more deserving winner. He had all the attributes of a good finalist. He was both good at the competition and he was entertaining. and actually had an interesting strategy that kind of made it unique. He cheated in every challenge, which was kind of a lame strategy, but it's still unique. And I don't know. I like a good strategic player. Not that, and I feel like in a season in not okay. I don't know why I repeatedly called BFDIE a contested vote. It's not, but like it's not viewer involvement either. It's auto eliminations. But he's a good strategic player. That's and I feel like that's in the only season where it matters. I think that's worth him winning because obviously strategy doesn't matter. What are you gonna do? You play strategically. You get voted out because you're mean. Ooh, mean. Anyways, a book literally has not done anything out of character. She's just nice, okay? That's just how she is. People always cite her dying every challenge, and I just view that as a running gag. Like, that isn't like. Okay, it was shocking the one time in BFDIA 18, but like every other time since then, it's just kind of been played for laughs. Or like, it's not really played for laughs, but it really isn't like the main focus. Like, oh, yeah, Book died again. Wow, big shock. And also, if they really wanted Book to win, they would have given her a much bigger role in BFDIA 24, but she and Needle actually did pretty equal things. In fact, I'd argue Needle was more entertaining that episode. So, no, a Book is not rigged to win BFDIA, and if you believe that, that is cope. You do not actually believe that. You are just mad that Fries is eliminated. Grow up, kid. As for Book as a winner, I don't think she is a good winner, but I do think she deserved to make it as far as she did. Okay, not as far as she did. I think she could have gotten out a little bit earlier. But I do think Book sabotaging Pin would be really cool in, like, the final challenge. I think that is, like, top 5 BFDI dreams. I want to see that scene. That would have been. Mwah. My voice hurts, but anyways, that's not our sludge. This is my BFDIA tier list based on how good of a winner I think they'd be. Yeah. 53 minutes. Oh my gosh.